Hey folks, Connor from Nice Wheels here, and today we're going to review the Specialized Turbo Vado 3.0. So in this review, we'll talk about the specs on the Vado 3.0, we'll talk about how it compares to other bikes in the Vado line, and most importantly, we'll talk about how it rides. So the Vado 3.0 is a Class 3 speed pedelec, meaning that the motor will assist you to speeds up to 28 miles an hour. And now the motor on this bike is going to be a Brose 250 watt motor, but tuned to specialized custom programming that they designed just for city riding. So it's a very smooth and fluid ride, really responsive to how much pressure that you're putting on the pedals. And it's not going to, throw you off the line in the beginning. It's going to be very easy to ride, very natural feeling. So something that Specialized is definitely very proud of for their custom settings on this motor. The battery that comes with the Vado 3.0 is going to be a 460 watt-hour lithium-ion battery. Going to get you ranges between, say, maybe as low as 25 miles to as much as 55 miles. So it's going to greatly depend on how you use it, the terrain you're riding, and the size of the person riding it. Of course, if you do ride in the higher assist level and are maintaining the top speed of about 27, 28 miles an hour all the time, definitely going to decrease your range a little bit. But overall, with the Brose system, it's going to be very efficient. So even a battery of this size is going to take you plenty of distance. So taking a look at some of the components on the bike, you can see how it's outfitted with some nice alloy fenders, both front and rear. You can see the front fender has a really low flap on it, so you know you're going to get excellent coverage with that, and it's really going to protect that motor from any spray on those bad weather days. You also have a nice heavy-duty rear rack as well, and your group set on this bike is going to be Shimano Dior, which is going to be a nice, real good quality component group level. And you have a 10-speed gear set here, cassette in the back, so plenty of gear range to both climb hills and also hit that top speed real easily. Up at the front of the bike, you can see you have a SR Suntour suspension fork. So not a whole lot of travel out of this, but definitely going to make the commute much more comfortable with this bike. You do have the ability to lock it out if you wish, so you can make that nice and stiff for a little more efficiency. Now this bike also makes use of 700C by 47 millimeter wide tires, and these are going to be the Specialized Trigger tire. So really a nice balance of tread as well as minimal rolling resistance. And to stop the bike, you're going to have the Shimano Dior hydraulic disc brakes and 180 millimeter rotors front and rear. So plenty of stopping power to slow down the 28 mile an hour speeds. So moving on to the display and controls, you can control your assist levels on this bike with these plus and minus buttons that are nice and easy to reach right next to the left grip here. So you can see on the top left of your screen is where you're going to see what level you're in. So you can hit the plus button to get into your eco mode or level 1. So that's going to save you the most battery and be the most efficient for those longer rides. Now both levels 2 and 3 are capable of hitting the 28 miles an hour top speed. 2 will be a little bit more efficient in saving battery because it's not going to expend as much energy getting up to that speed as level 3 would, but both are capable of those higher speeds. So generally you'll be in 2 if you want to have the most natural ride and a very efficient ride, and 3 if you want to just go full speed and have a lot of fun with it, then that's going to be the mode for you. You can see your speed right in the middle of the screen here, and then at the bottom of the screen you have a couple different readouts that you can tap through with this set button that's on the top part of the thumb pad here. So with that you can see your total odometer distance, your trip distance, the time, and you can kind of just scroll through those 3 things. Now at the bottom of the display, or the button pad rather, you've got your light button here. So that's going to backlight your display, so when you're riding at night, and it'll also turn the lights that are both integrated in the battery front and rear. So that'll turn those on and control that whenever you're riding at night. And when you're done with your ride and you got the bike locked up outside, you can always take the display with you, just give it a turn to the left, and it pops right off nice and easy. So taking a closer look at the battery compartment, you do have your charge port right here next to the lock. So the charge port's pretty nice. It has a little piece that'll keep it steady to the battery, but it also magnetically kind of clips itself back in when you're not charging it and when you're riding the bike. The bike does come with a set of Avis Plus keys, so you can use that to remove the battery. Just give that a quick turn to the right, and the battery sort of releases to the side here. So the battery itself is only about 6 pounds, so nice and easy to carry around with you and charge separately while the bike might be locked up outside or wherever else you have it. The battery casing itself also has the bottle cage mounts as part of the covering here, so you'll also be taking your bottle cage with you if you are removing the battery from the bike. Now the keys that come with the bike will have what's called your Plus code card, and that's going to give you a number that allows you to purchase a lock that matches the same keys that are on your battery lock. So if you want to say get a Avis Bordeaux lock, you can have one that uses this same Avis Plus key as the lock for your bike that matches the lock for your battery. And the nice thing about the Border locks too is that you can mount them right to those bottle cage mounts. So you can have that all integrated as one unique system. So it's really something that comes in handy, something that we can do for you at the shop. If you wanted to order one of those locks, just ask us while you're in store. But just in case you don't want to carry around whatever is mounted to your battery, you do have another set of bottle bosses right underneath the top tube here. So that'll allow you to have either 2 bottle cages or a bottle cage or a lock, or even 2 locks if you want to be super secure. So the Vado 3.0 hits a really nice middle ground as far as the Specialized Vado line goes. It's going to be the most affordable speed pedelec that they offer, but also one of the more affordable speed pedelecs that's on the market in general. And you get a lot with this bike in terms of what you get in the price point of $3,400. The ride quality of the bike overall is just incredibly smooth, and I think that's just going to be the case for pretty much any Specialized bike that you ride. The motor tuning really is well done. You can feel the difference from this bike versus, you know, just any other brand with Brose motors on it. So it's really going to be tailored to the city riding. It was really enjoyable to use and just felt really natural. It just didn't feel like I was riding an e-bike at all, and that's kind of one of the nice things about them. Now, along with not feeling like much of an e-bike, it really doesn't look like one either. The battery and motor integration on all of the Specialized Vado bikes and even their Como bikes are really well done. So at first glance, most people probably wouldn't know it's electric. The Vado 3.0 is also one of the few bikes offered in a couple different color options. So you do have both this silver and black that you see here, as well as kind of a black and lime green color scheme as well. Along with that, you do have 4 different frame sizes that are available for this bike, and both men's and women's frame styles as well. Now, unlike a lot of other bike companies, rather than just calling the step-through frame bike a women's bike, they actually make some minor changes to the touch points, like the saddle and grips, making the saddle a little bit wider and also changing the geometry slightly, you know, bringing the reach from saddle to handlebars in a little bit. Specialized has been making bikes for so long, they really have dialed in the geometry for both men's and women's riders. Overall, I found the Vado 3.0 extremely enjoyable to ride. It's really a solid middle ground between the 2.0 and the 5 and 6.0. So you do get the extra speed over the 2.0, a little less battery range and bells and whistles from the 5 and 6. So it's really a nice middle ground that's going to give you a lot of value for your money. Thanks so much for watching our review of the Specialized Turbo Vado 3.0. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as well as turn on those notifications to let you know when we release new videos.